Welcome to Biggest Spoilars, the destination for exclusive spoilers, latest updates.
The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for Tuesday, November 4th, reveal that Beth Spencer will make an anti-Sheila Sharp advertisement while Electra Forrester refuses to forgive Remy Price. At Forrester Creations, Remy is now an emotional wreck after being brazened and berated during Deke Sharp's welcome party. Despite Remy's reason and hopeless plea for another chance, Electra will make it crystal clear that she's not forgiving him for everything he's done. Remy was hoping he could get Electra back on his side and move the others to follow, but that plan went out. That's why Remy will just have to turn his attention to Deke and intimately supplicate him not to give up on their relationship. Deke is obviously feeling overwhelmed since he no way anticipated any of these awful Remy exposures. It'll be hard for Deke to get once Remy's conduct, especially since Remy kept quiet for so long. In the meantime, Beth will have another discussion with Hope Logan and Liam Spencer about their forthcoming espousal. It turns out Beth will have a big idea about Liam and Hope's marriage form, so she'll share it with them on Tuesday's B&B occasion. Hope and Liam will no doubt offer their blessing as long as it's reasonable and realizable. Still, Beth will ultimately have another advertisement about the guest list. It turns out Beth wouldn't want Sheila at the marriage, so she'll catch Liam and Hope off guard when she spills that news. Beth wouldn't want Deacon Sharp's woman ruining the fun of Hope and Liam's special day, so she'll take a veritably anti-Sheila station on Tuesday's show. Will Liam and Hope entitlement Beth's request about leaving Sheila off the guest list? Since Hope was formerly hoping Sheila wouldn't be there, she may pipe up an agreement and decide to give Cleric updates on the Sheila band soon after. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say some delicate family issues are on the way, so stay tuned for all the drama. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers allude at some stunners during the week of November, plus a flurry of casting news. The fashion assiduity can be a revolving door where characters debut, only to leave, and also return. So, who's coming and who's going over the coming 5 days? Time to find out. Thomas Forrester returns. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers note that the show's administrative patron, Casey Kasperzik, revealed on Instagram that actor Matthew Atkinson is returning to the set and back to firing. As similar, suckers should anticipate Thomas Forrester to arrive on the scene soon. It sounds like Thomas's return could throw a wrench in Hope Logan's and Liam Spencer's engagement and reunion, so suckers will have to stay tuned to watch all the drama explode. Beth Spencer's gladdening idea. Speaking of Hop's reunion, B&B spoilers indicate that Beth Spencer, played by Jordan Gracie, will get further airtime this week, and the family continues to celebrate coming back together. During the Tuesday, November 4th occasion, Beth will give her parents a sweet idea for their forthcoming espousal. With that said, during the B&B exercise, Beth also makes it clear that she doesn't want one person to attend the marriage. Sheila Carter. How will Hope and Liam accommodate this request? In addition, Remy Price will be showcased during the Monday, November 3rd show, as Christian Weissman gets further screen time on the CBS cleaner. Of course, he'll have some major scenes between Deke Sharp, as he reacts to Remy stalking Electra Grace. Bold and the Beautiful spoilers allude that suckers anticipate some emotional clips between Remy and Deke, as well as Remy and Electra. Plus, doesn't count out Will Spencer getting involved. The hallowed halls of Forrester Creations, typically a sanctuary for high fashion and whispered corporate intrigue, still seem to vibrate with the aftershocks of a devastating confrontation. The air, once perfumed with ambition and expensive cologne, is now thick with the acrid scent of betrayal and shattered trust. The welcome party for Deke Sharp, intended as a celebration of new beginnings and familial reconciliation, has instead become a crucible of exposed secrets and broken bonds. As Tuesday, November 4th, dawns in Los Angeles, the characters of The Bold and the Beautiful find themselves navigating the treacherous fallout, where every word is a weapon, every plea is scrutinized, and the path to forgiveness is strewn with the wreckage of past transgressions. This day marks not a clean slate, but a baptism by fire, forcing hard decisions about who is worthy of redemption and who must be permanently exiled from the inner sanctums of love and family. The wreckage of Remy Price, a soul laid bare. Remy Price is a man utterly unraveled. The confident, almost arrogant facade he so carefully maintained has been obliterated, leaving behind a raw, emotional wreck. The public berating he endured at the party, particularly from the fiery Elector Forrester, has left him psychologically flayed. His secret, the stalking, the manipulations, the dark obsession that festered beneath a veneer of normalcy, is no longer a hidden shame but public record, discussed in horrified whispers by the very people he hoped to impress. The humiliation is a physical weight on his shoulders, bowing his posture and shadowing his eyes with a desperate, animal panic. His initial strategy, crafted in the frantic, sleepless hours following the party, was to target the most volatile yet potentially sympathetic point of entry, Electra. He approaches her not with his former swagger, but with the trembling deference of a supplicant before a wrathful queen. His apology is not merely words, it is a performance of utter contrition. His voice cracks with genuine emotion as he lays his soul bare, desperately pleading for another chance, not just for her forgiveness, but for a chance to prove he is more than the monster his actions have painted him to be. He speaks of his profound regret, of the madness that momentarily consumed him, and of his unwavering, if tragically expressed, love for her. He had hoped, perhaps naively, that if he could win over Electra, her influence could act as a shield, convincing the others, especially Deke, to lower their pitchforks and follow her lead. This plan, however, is dead on arrival. Elector Forrester is not a woman who forgives easily. Her trust, once broken, is like fine porcelain shattered on marble. It may be painstakingly glued back together, but the cracks will always be visible, a permanent testament to the violence of the break. She meets Remy's desperate plea not with icy silence, but with a clarity that is somehow more devastating. She makes it crystal clear, her words sharp and precise, that there will be no reconciliation, no second chance, no absolution for the fear and violation he inflicted upon her. She articulates the core of his betrayal. It wasn't just the stalking, but the prolonged deception, the way he looked her in the eye day after day while hiding such a sinister truth. Her rejection is absolute, a door slammed shut and bolted from the inside, leaving Remy standing alone in the cold. With this avenue irrevocably closed, a new, more profound desperation sets in. His attention turns to Deke Sharp, the brother whose acceptance he craved above all others. Their relationship, so recently rekindled after years of separation, now hangs by the most fragile of threads. Remy seeks a private moment, away from the judgmental eyes of the Forresters, to make his final stand. This is not a public performance, this is a private, gut-wrenching appeal to the bonds of blood. He begs Deke, his voice thick with unshed tears, not to give up on him. He frames his actions as a sickness, a temporary insanity born from a deep-seated fear of losing the family he had just found. He will likely invoke their shared past, the struggles they overcame, pleading that their brotherhood is strong enough to withstand this cataclysm. For Deke, the emotional turmoil is a maelstrom. He is caught between the loyalty he feels for his brother and the horrifying reality of what Remy has done. He never expected these awful revelations. He welcomed a brother and found a stranger capable of terrifying behavior. The trust between them is fractured. How can he ever believe Remy again? How can he be sure that this contrition is genuine and not merely another layer of manipulation? The fact that Remy kept quiet for so long is the most poisonous part of the ordeal. It suggests a capacity for duplicity that Deke finds difficult to reconcile with the man he thought he knew. His internal conflict will be a central drama. Will he choose the difficult path of familial loyalty, advocating for rehabilitation and patience, or will he side with Electra, protecting his new friends and condemning his brother's actions? This impossible choice will define his character for months to come. Beth Spencer, the guardian of her parents' happiness. While the Remy drama simmers in one corner of the Forrester universe, a sweeter, though no less complicated, narrative is unfolding around the impending union of Hope Logan and Liam Spencer. Their daughter, Beth Spencer, is emerging not just as a joyful child, but as an active, invested architect of her parents' long-awaited happiness. Having endured her own unthinkable trauma as an infant, separated from her parents, the stability and wholeness of her family unit is paramount to her. She sees her parents' wedding not just as a party, but as a sacred symbol of their finally perfected world. It is from this place of pure, childlike devotion that Beth presents her big idea for their marriage ceremony. The spoilers are coy on the specifics, but one can imagine a scenario filled with poignant sentiment. Perhaps she suggests incorporating a locket with a photo of all three of them, symbolizing their journey to become a complete family. Maybe she proposes a special unity ceremony where she, too, participates, blending sand or lighting a candle to represent her integral role in their union. Her idea is undoubtedly born from a heart overflowing with love, a desire to physically imprint her joy onto the fabric of their wedding day. Hope and Liam, seeing the earnest hope in their daughter's eyes, will undoubtedly offer their approval. After everything they have endured, the losses, the betrayals, the separations, Beth's happiness is their North Star. As long as her idea is reasonable and doable, they will embrace it, touched by her deep emotional investment in their union. This moment is a beautiful, tranquil island in the turbulent sea of their lives, a testament to the resilient love that binds the Spencer-Logan family. However, this tranquility is swiftly shattered by Beth's subsequent, and far more consequential, announcement regarding the guest list. With a child's unvarnished honesty and a protectiveness that belies her years, she declares that she does not want Sheila Sharp at the wedding. This proclamation catches Liam and Hope completely off guard. For them, the guest list is a complex web of social obligations, family politics, and painful history. For Beth, it is simple. Sheila is a threat, a dark cloud associated with chaos, danger, and pain. Beth's anti-Sheila stance is not born of petty dislike, but of a deep-seated, instinctual need to protect her family's special day. She has likely overheard whispers, sensed the tension, and absorbed the collective anxiety that Sheila's very name evokes. In her mind, Sheila is a walking, talking omen of ruin, and she cannot comprehend why such a person would be allowed to taint the purity of her parents' celebration. She bluntly states that she doesn't want Deacon Sharp's wife ruining the fun, articulating a fear that the adults around her are too mired in politeness to voice so directly. This creates a fascinating moral and logistical dilemma for Hope and Liam. Internally, Hope is almost certainly in agreement. Her relationship with her father, Deacon, is fragile and complicated, and Sheila's presence within it is a constant source of anxiety. The idea of Sheila at her wedding, with her notorious history and capacity for dramatic scenes, is likely one of Hope's secret dreads. Beth has now given voice to this silent fear, presenting her with a perfect, righteous excuse to issue a ban. Hope may very well pipe up in agreement, using Beth's discomfort as the primary justification. This allows her to achieve her own goal without appearing to directly attack her father's wife. The subsequent task of informing Deacon will be fraught with its own tension. How will Deacon, who has fought so hard for his own redemption and a place in Hope's life, react to his granddaughter barring his wife from the wedding? Will he accept it as a necessary boundary, or will it create a new, painful rift between him and the daughter he has worked so hard to reconnect with? Beth's simple, heartfelt request has ignited a chain reaction that will test the limits of Deacon's loyalty and force Hope into another difficult conversation about the volatile woman her father chose to marry. The looming storm, returns, revelations, and revolving doors. The dramas of Tuesday, November 4th, do not exist in a vacuum. They are merely the opening acts for an even greater seismic shift about to rock Los Angeles. The confirmed return of Thomas Forrester, as heralded by executive producer Casey Kasperzik, casts a long, ominous shadow over every current plotline, but especially over the fragile reunion of Lope. Thomas Forrester is not just another character, he is a force of nature in Hope's life, representing a dark, obsessive passion that stands in stark contrast to Liam's stable, if occasionally waffling, devotion. His return to Los Angeles is the narrative equivalent of a lit match being tossed into a room filled with dynamite. While Hope and Liam are planning a wedding built on a foundation of renewed trust and family unity, Thomas's presence is a walking reminder of a more turbulent, intense, and dangerous path. His history with Hope is a complex tapestry of manipulation, genuine love, mental instability, and profound transformation. The question on every fan's mind is, which Thomas is returning? Is he the truly reformed man, the devoted father to Douglas, who has made peace with his past? Or is the obsessive love that once consumed him merely lying dormant, waiting for the sight of Hope in a wedding dress to reignite it with terrifying force? His arrival is perfectly timed to exploit any lingering doubts or insecurities. He could question Liam's past indecisions, reminding Hope of all the times Liam left her for Steffi. He could position himself as the one who has always seen her true strength and passion, unlike Liam, whom he may paint as safe and uninspiring. The spoilers that his return could throw a wrench in Hope and Liam's engagement is a masterful understatement. Thomas is the ultimate agent of chaos for this couple. His mere presence will trigger Liam's protective, and often possessive, instincts, potentially causing him to become overbearing and distrustful, thereby pushing Hope away. Conversely, Hope may feel a pull of nostalgia or a confusing sense of responsibility towards the man who is, after all, the father of her son. Thomas's return doesn't just threaten the wedding, it threatens to destabilize the very core of Hope and Liam's hard-won peace, ensuring that the road to the altar is anything but smooth. Furthermore, the ongoing Remy-Electra-Deke triangle cannot be viewed in isolation. The presence of Will Spencer, Hope's younger brother, adds another layer of potential conflict. Will, protective of his sister and the Forrester name, could easily insert himself into the fray, siding with Electra and adding more pressure on Deke to sever ties with Remy entirely. The difficult family issues promised by the spoilers are a sprawling web, connecting the Spencer, Logan, Forrester, and now Sharp families in a complex dance of allegiance and animosity. In conclusion, Tuesday, November 4th, on The Bold and the Beautiful is a day of definitive stances and emotional crossroads. Electra's unwavering refusal to forgive Remy draws a hard line in the sand, establishing that some betrayals are beyond the pale. Beth's heartfelt plea to exclude Sheila does the same, attempting to cordon off her family's happiness from the perennial threat of chaos. Yet, for every line drawn, a new complication arises. Remy's desperate appeal to Deke ensures the brotherly conflict is far from over, and the looming return of Thomas Forrester guarantees that the greatest threats to happiness are often those from the past, resurfacing with impeccable, dramatic timing. The baptism of this new chapter has begun, not with holy water, but with the fire of confrontation, and the storm on the horizon promises to be even more explosive.